All right, we are live. Hello and welcome everyone to another expert chat. This week I am joined by the lovely Amanda Stubbs from Sense Bookkeeping. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, how you going?
Good, very good. How are you going?
Yeah, good. Really good.
I'm really excited to have you here. We're talking about mastering your numbers to achieve your income goals. And of course, that is something that we'd all like to do. And numbers are a thing that some people, a lot of us, can find a bit intimidating. So I would love to hear from you. I'm excited for this talk. You're a bookkeeper and you
Yep.
have your own business. So tell us a bit about where your focus is, who it is that you help, and how we can actually start to look at our numbers in a way that's going to make sense.
Yeah, of course. So I really love to work with women in business who potentially work alone. So they don't necessarily have a support network of people, or they don't have somebody to tell them what to do. Provide that feedback that things are
Yeah.
going really well. And I know from experience, we can look at the reports, we can go, I don't even know what that means. That looks good. We'll run with that. And it's a very common thing. And in all honesty, it's quite common for people to actually not even know how much money they've earned. There is quite a number of people I've come across who haven't been tracking their income. So they really don't know what their position is. So they don't know what's going to end up coming at tax time.
Mm.
So knowing your numbers can really prepare you for what's coming and really make sure that you do know where you're sitting, and you can make great decisions. You can, knowing those, you can know what you need to do to take your business to that next level. You know what you want to do next, and also earn the money you want to earn. Because we all have those goals. We all know, we all have an idea of what we want to earn. So I actually ran a 5-day challenge recently, and it was called Master Your Numbers.
Yeah.
And throughout the 5 days, we had one step each day. And the first step was actually looking backwards. And awareness is so powerful. Being aware of what's been happening in your business can help you plan ahead. So we went through the stage, and we actually looked at the last 12 months of income and expenses. And we looked at then the profit of the business throughout that time. So then we could look at doing a budget for the next 12 months. So those sneaky little things that take you by surprise, it can be insurance. I actually got taken by surprise the other day with my Microsoft bill.
Right. Yeah.
Those automatic debits that you just don't know when they're going to come, and by chance you make sure that the money's in the account ready to go. So you can plan for those. You know that they're coming, and then going through the process of saying, well, okay, so this is what my expenses are going to be. This is what I know it's going to cost me to run this business. So I know exactly what I need to earn to cover those expenses. Okay, well, that doesn't cover paying yourself, especially if you're a sole trader. So, all right, well, then how much money do you want to earn? How much do you want going into your pocket? So then we can add on to that what you want to be earning. And that's the really exciting part, because you can then break it down. And depending on the type of business you have, it can be, say you want 3 private coaching clients on this package. You can really set your goals then, and then you can really plan your marketing. You can plan where your efforts in.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So Amanda, before you go any further, because there's so much information in this, and I just want to break it up in a way that's clear for everyone, because I know you know it all, we don't. So okay, I always say, like, clarity is key, right? Having that awareness, knowing your numbers is super powerful. I mean, clarity around all parts of your business, but numbers are something that we tend to stick our head in the sand about. And I find especially women, for some reason, it's like we're almost afraid to look at the numbers. Why do you think there's such a reluctance or a resistance there, before we continue on with what we need to do?
And I think sometimes, I think there's a few reasons, honestly. I think there's a lot of the social constructs that are still out there. I think there's a lot of society that views that women don't know numbers, women don't know money, they don't manage the money. I think that element still hangs around.
Sure.
I think there's also, women like to focus on where their strengths are. Mm-hmm. So I find at the same time we end up going, well, I don't know about that, I'm actually just going to ignore it. That's just not going to be on my radar whatsoever.
Right. Yep. Ostrich. Yep. Yeah. Stick your head in the sand. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's also then you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's also education. So we're not told what we need to know. Mm-hmm. So then we don't take those steps to learn that and know it and understand it. Mm. So I really do think there's so much that goes on into the reasons behind that. Mm. But all we can do is educate ourselves and know, so that we know what we do need to know. Yeah. And how we can plan forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think just before we move on, I think the lack of education, particularly for women, but I think also a lot of us hold on to some idea, even if it's quite subconscious, about it's too difficult, it's too hard, I don't understand it, because historically we haven't been taught and educated around money, finances, all those things. There's a lot of women who understand that now, and it's increasing, but I think there's still like this sort of deep inner things with some, because I have noticed it in myself when it comes to my investments, for example. I'll be like, oh, my partner will know more about that than me, just because he's a man, right? Yeah. Or, somebody else, I don't trust myself somehow to understand it, but it's actually not rocket science, it's numbers. Yeah. So okay, so women can really step up and just get that education that they need, right, to understand the numbers and believe that they can do it, because it's not any more difficult than learning something else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah, okay. So we have this resistance around looking at our numbers. A lot of us don't know the numbers, but we do know that when you finally take a look at the numbers and you get that clarity, that opens up so much, and you can really start to plan, and you have that awareness of exactly what you need. So you were just moving on to the next stage. So we've got now a better understanding of our numbers, tracking them, and then you were talking about, before I interrupted you, about how that can lead into your planning, your budget, your marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. It really can. And it's that awareness that can really help you get to the position that you want to be in, and know what you need to take to get to that position. It really is so important, and just that little bit of education about telling people what they need to know, what the numbers mean, how to use them to your advantage, is really lacking.
Is that what you primarily help your clients with, Amanda? Is the understanding of all those things and how they can use it in the business to really propel themselves forward in the different areas?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a massive promoter of actually working together. So I see us as a team. It's not just set me off and I do my thing and you go off your way and you do your thing. I actually believe in working cohesively as a team, so that you are well informed of what's going on in the finances of the business, and what they mean. and how to go. So all of my clients, we get like a monthly report where I break down like their profit and loss. So I break down the different aspects, and I'll comment on any trends I see, or say, if you stay on this rate of income, well, I suspect you might get to this level, or at the rate you're going, you might need to register for GST at a certain time. All those sorts of things you actually really need to be in control of, because there are ramifications if you don't register for GST when you should. But it's feeling in control. And that's what I want all of my clients to feel, is still be in control, that they still know what's going on. It's not just set and forget. It's really work together to reach those goals.
I love that, because a lot of us, will hand over the things to the bookkeeper and or the accountant and just be like, okay, there you go. I don't understand it. You deal with it.
Yes.
Tell me what I need to do. So you are empowering and educating at the same time.
Absolutely. I want people to know why they do it and what they can get from it, and use it to grow them and their business, because the more empowered you are, the more confident you are. And then the more confident you are, you can make better business decisions. So all of these things are going to lead you to get to where your level of success lies, where you want to get to.
Yeah, that's beautiful, because it really is such a powerful thing to understand the different aspects of your business, and money is one of the key parts of your business, right? And I know, having been self-employed for a decade now, that if I have had years where I've gotten to the end of the year and then I've been like, I've worked all year and made no money, because you're not paying attention. So
that's right.
How does someone who, doesn't have a good grasp on their business numbers right now, how does someone start to look? Like, where do we look, or how do we start to track what's coming in or our expenses? Like, what's a simple way that we can start, especially if there's someone who's watching who's maybe not got an accountant or a bookkeeper or those sorts of things, who's not at outsourcing stage?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, and that can vary on the stage of the business. So if you're early stages and you don't have a high cash flow and you don't want to be paying for things, don't want to be paying for an accounting system, although I do recommend them, obviously. But there are some awesome spreadsheets out there. There's some fabulous templates that you can get that help show you how to separate the different parts of your bank account. So I guess the most important step I say to people is to make sure you've got a business bank account, so that you're not having your business and personal expenses all mixed together, because that things get really messy. So having that separate account and being able to break down even the transactions, and you can go, well, that was the income for the month. That was the expenses. Or I probably spent a bit much in stationery this month. Or I better.
That would be me. I love Officeworks.
We all love our stationery, right? But so you can look at the difference of the income and the expenses and go, well, yeah, I probably did spend a bit much there. I can probably rein that back. And then, but by reining that back, you can then also plan to be paying yourself more. So you're not just doing the little things that you claim as a deduction for the business. You can pay yourself more, so that that's going in your pocket and it can go towards what makes you happy.
I like that. So just on the topic of paying yourself, a lot of women I know, and I was also doing this, was, you have money coming in, you have money going out in form of expenses, and whatever's left over is left over. Yes. So talk to us just for a moment, if you can, about the idea of paying yourself and, you know, do you recommend having a set, you know, you said earlier, like, how much do you want to earn? So decide how much you want to earn, then you know how much you need to bring in every month. So I'm going to assume that you support people saying like, okay, this is my salary every month. I'm going to pay it to myself. Is that right?
Absolutely. Well, I think that's key to being able to set the goals to work towards. I think you need to have that figure that you know you want to be bringing in, so you can achieve it, because you can't. I do find this, and it leads to a bit of a lack of direction sometimes. If people don't have that particular figure that they want, they just go, I want to earn as much as I possibly can. So you actually then, how are you tracking your goals? How do you then feel when you've achieved your goal? By setting the goal, you can actually track it, and you can see yourself working towards it, and that's going to make you feel really good. That's going to get you on the momentum that things are going really well. So I am a believer in setting that figure rather than wing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that many of us learn the hard way. and all the months that go by when you don't pay yourself anything in the beginning. And I think it's like, you're absolutely right. And what you're saying is, you know how much you want to earn, know what's coming in, know what's going out, know what you want to earn, and then you can actually make a plan and have those goals. Because if you don't have the goal, you don't know if you're achieving or not. It's impossible to track. And so that's money. So what about marketing? You mentioned marketing before, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about that. So obviously, you got to know what you want to achieve. How does knowing that and knowing the numbers impact our marketing?
Well, you also then know, I guess, what you have to spend as well. Like, you know what your spend budget is, if one at all. Most cases, when we're a small business, we actually don't have a spend budget, and it is looking at all organic marketing abilities. But it's looking at, well, okay, so I need to find 3 coaching clients on this particular package. Well, how are you going to find those clients? And it leads directly into your marketing strategy, because then you know, well, how am I going to bring those people in? Where am I going to find them? Where do I need to be focusing my efforts? So you can actually be prioritizing your work. So knowing your numbers can actually affect your work in so many different ways. Instead of sitting there overwhelmed, stressed, going, I don't know what's going on or whatever, you've got a clear direction. You've got a plan, and that's what gives you that power.
Absolutely, right. So if you're not meeting your targets, your newly set targets, because now you know what's going on in the business, then you know you need to do something differently. You need to up your game or change your strategy, you know, to meet those targets. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that you did a 5-day challenge in your group. Was there any other nuggets of wisdom from that challenge, like apart from the steps you've shared so far?
So one thing I actually touched on as well is a little bit of introduction of the profit first philosophy. And I think that came from the budgeting aspect as well. So you know then what percentage of your income is going to your expenses. So you know what percentage to make sure is there for that. But then you've also got you're setting money aside to pay your tax bill at the end of it. Like, you're actually putting that money there aside, and you're not going to get to the end of the year with a bill and go, crap, how am I going to pay this?
Yeah.
That money is right there. But then actually you're also enforcing yourself to put profit money aside for the business, it depends on the business. It depends on where the business is going, but you can use it to invest. You can use it to in a way that's going to help grow and scale the business. Make better decisions. If you want to go to a retreat or join a mastermind or do a new course, like, you can use that money as an investment that you know you're actually going to get return on, and it can potentially increase the income of your business. But then it's also making sure that you do pay yourself first. And that's one part why I really do love Profit First, because your business is nothing without you. So you need to be compensated first. You need to be getting out of your business what you need to be able to provide the results that your clients need. So you first, basically. I want you looking after you first.
I love that, because, yeah, and as we said earlier, a lot of the time it's you last for many women with their businesses, particularly in the beginning, right, when we're starting out and there is no profit, or the profit's all going straight back into other things. So, so you first and profit first.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And then I finished off the challenge with a bit of a download and a daily habit that I really like to do. And it's going through those goals and it's tracking your goals. So this is something I like to do daily, but I said obviously people can do it weekly. Like, it depends on the business. It depends on what sort of income you get coming through, how often, that kind of thing. But I find this is something I sit down and I do first thing in the morning, and I write down and I write exactly what my goal for the month is, and I look at where I'm at. Yep. Where am I with that goal? Okay, and then I know I've already got this much locked in, I know will come in, but there's still this amount left. So where am I going to get that from? What do I need to do? Where do I need to focus some effort? Where do I add in a promo? Those sorts of things. What can you do to be bringing in the leads to potentially reach that goal? So, and I find it really gives me the energy for the day. I find it really wakes me up for the day, because I then go, I know what I've got to do, because then I can set my top 3 priorities of tasks for the day, and then some nice to gets done. But also, what do I want to feel? How do I want to feel at the end of the day? So I just find it all ties in together so nicely, and it can really set you out for success.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in those sorts of practices. And so you look at your money goals every day?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. There's that saying that what you pay attention to, you get more of. So paying attention to your money and tracking it is going to bring more abundance into your life, I believe.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're manifesting.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So I always like to think of money like a friend, and how would I treat a friend? So if I'm ignoring my money, or, just pretending like it's not important, then my friend's going to go away.
I follow a money mindset coach as well. And she made an excellent point the other week that how you treat $1 is how you're going to treat all of your dollars. So treat every dollar like it counts.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It really, really struck a chord.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, if we have some ladies watching this particular interview and they are like, oh my goodness, I haven't been paying attention, I've been neglecting my money, I don't know what's going on in my business, what should they do first, and how do they get in touch with you?
First, have a drink.
Have a drink.
And breathe, because it's okay. There's there's nothing wrong. There's many people in so many different situations, and nothing is wrong. There is no wrong way about it. But I want people to then feel confident that, okay, well, now I know what I need to know. Mm-hmm. And now you can take those steps to change that. So if people want more information, they can jump onto my website, which is just sensebookkeeping.com.au. It's got some information about me and some packages as well. But
great.
I do prefer to set my packages bespoke. So I really like to actually know exactly what that person needs within their business, rather than saying, this is what you need to have. Sure. I want to know what you actually need. So I do highly recommend a consult so that we can actually nail out, if you actually do want support, we can come up with a price that suits.
Okay. And Amanda, are your consults free, or do people book in?
Absolutely.
So you can get a free consult to talk to you, to be like, this is my mess, help me sort it out, or this is where I'm at, how do I make it better? And you will be able to then create a bespoke package and really work closely together with that person to make all their income dreams come true. I'm loving this.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We and you can check out my Facebook page. I do heaps of posts, and I also do the occasional post about like a different project I'm working on. So because I had this conversation with a client this morning. I'm a bookkeeper. I don't like to fit into a box. I like to be able to do lots of different things. So you can see lots of different things that I work on. So it just gives you a bit of an idea of the versatility, if that's a word, of the kind of relationship we can have. But there is no obligations, even if you jump on a consult and you just want to chat with someone. I've had people who jump on the phone and they just want a bit more clarity about what they want to be doing. And I'm more than happy to have that chat, because I would prefer people to have the knowledge and go away and meet their goals than to continue on with their head in the sand.
I can see that you're quite passionate about that educating and empowerment side of your business, which is lovely, and it's very refreshing to meet a bookkeeper who cares. Thank you for caring.
I definitely care, and I do. I am a strong believer in people getting that knowledge and knowing what it means and how to use it. So I offer lots of little tidbits. I do have my own group as well, where I do the occasional training. So happy to direct people there as well. Feel free, people can send me a message. They can just send me a DM and I can direct them to the group, and they can join if they
What's the name of your group, Amanda?
Brilliant Business Bookkeeping.
Love it. Brilliant Business Bookkeeping. Okay.
It can be a mouthful to remember, so I'm more than happy to actually pop in the comments a link to it if people want that as well.
No problem. I think that kind of education is something that, you know, many of us need. We need to understand it better. We need someone lovely and helpful like yourself to guide us where we should be looking, because if you are new to really understanding your books and your numbers, it's overwhelming. It's so intimidating as well in the beginning. It's like, oh my goodness, nobody taught me this stuff. I've never heard it. I don't know what these words are. You know, how do I make sense of all this? So you're like
looking at content marketing.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't catch that.
Which is likely me looking at content marketing. So
right.
We all have our things that we're good at. Yeah,
absolutely right. And so your strength is the numbers and the books, and we need people like you to help the rest of us who have no clue and who are perhaps sticking our heads in the sand when it comes to the numbers. So thank you so much. So, all right. So we are at half an hour, and I'm going to wrap it up, Amanda. I know you've got a wealth of knowledge in your mind that you could share with us, but thank you for getting us started and pointing us in the right direction and giving us, sharing your wisdom and knowledge. We've already got some of your links up in the comments, so people can find you directly. If anybody who's watching, I know we've had some people on live, if you have got questions for Amanda, just get in touch with her or pop the question in the comments if it's something that you're happy to share. Chances are if you've got a question, then someone else is thinking it also. And or get in touch with Amanda directly and she'll be able to help you out. Amanda, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's been really great to hear about this topic in particular, because I know it's one that so many of us feel challenged by. So I'll be jumping into your group to check it out and learn some more from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. And thanks everyone for being here, whether you're watching live or the replay. Any questions, pop them in the comments. Make sure you tag Amanda if it's a question directed at her so she gets the notification. All right. That's it for today. Thank you, everyone, and see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.